Leviticus chapters 4 through 6. And Jehovah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, If any one shall sin unwittingly in any of the things which Jehovah hath commanded not to be done, and shall do any one of them, if the anointed priest shall sin so as to bring guilt on the people, then let him offer for his sin which he hath sinned a young bullock without blemish unto Jehovah for a sin offering. And he shall bring the bullock unto the door of the tent of meeting before Jehovah, and he shall lay his hand upon the head of the bullock, and kill the bullock before Jehovah. And the anointed priest shall take of the blood of the bullock, and bring it to the tent of meeting. And the priest shall dip his finger in the blood, and sprinkle of the blood 7 times before Jehovah, before the veil of the sanctuary. And the priest shall put of the blood upon the horns of the altar of sweet incense before Jehovah, which is in the tent of meeting, and all the blood of the bullock shall he pour out at the base of the altar of burnt offering, which is at the door of the tent of meeting. And all the fat of the bullock of the sin offering he shall take off from it, the fat that covereth the inwards, and all the fat that is upon the inwards, and the 2 kidneys and the fat that is upon them, which is by the loins, and the caul upon the liver, with the kidney shall be taken away, as it is taken off from the ox of the sacrifice of peace offerings, and the priest shall burn them upon the altar of burnt offering. And the skin of the bullock, and all its flesh, with its head, and with its legs, and its inwards, and its dung, even the whole bullock shall he carry forth without the camp unto a clean place, where the ashes are poured out, and burn it on wood with fire, where the ashes are poured out shall it be burnt. And if the whole congregation of Israel err, and the thing be hid from the eyes of the assembly, and they have done any of the things which Jehovah hath commanded not to be done, and are guilty, when the sin wherein they have sinned is known, then the assembly shall offer a young bullock for a sin offering, and bring it before the tent of meeting. And the elders of the congregation shall lay their hands upon the head of the bullock before Jehovah, and the bullock shall be killed before Jehovah. And the anointed priest shall bring of the blood of the bullock to the tent of meeting, and the priest shall dip his finger in the blood, and sprinkle it 7 times before Jehovah, before the veil. And he shall put of the blood upon the horns of the altar which is before Jehovah, that is in the tent of meeting, and all the blood shall he pour out at the base of the altar of burnt offering, which is at the door of the tent of meeting. And all the fat thereof shall he take off from it, and burn it upon the altar. Thus shall he do with the bullock, as he did with the bullock of the sin offering, so shall he do with this. And the priest shall make atonement for them, and they shall be forgiven. And he shall carry forth the bullock without the camp, and burn it as he burned the first bullock. It is the sin offering for the assembly. When a ruler sinneth, and doeth unwittingly any one of all the things which Jehovah his God hath commanded not to be done, and is guilty, if his sin wherein he hath sinned be made known to him, he shall bring for his oblation a goat, a male without blemish. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of the goat, and kill it in the place where they kill the burnt offering before Jehovah. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall take of the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering, and the blood thereof shall he pour out at the base of the altar of burnt offering. And all the fat thereof shall he burn upon the altar, as the fat of the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall make atonement for him as concerning his sin, and he shall be forgiven. And if any one of the common people sin unwittingly in doing any of the things which Jehovah hath commanded not to be done, and be guilty, if his sin which he hath sinned be made known to him, then he shall bring for his oblation a goat, a female without blemish, for his sin which he hath sinned. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and kill the sin offering in the place of burnt offering. And the priest shall take of the blood thereof with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering. And all the blood thereof shall he pour out at the base of the altar. And all the fat thereof shall he take away, as the fat is taken away from off the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savour unto Jehovah. And the priest shall make atonement for him, and he shall be forgiven. And if he bring a lamb as his oblation for a sin offering, he shall bring it a female without blemish. And he shall lay his hand upon the head of the sin offering, and kill it for a sin offering in the place where they kill the burnt offering. And the priest shall take the blood of the sin offering with his finger, and put it upon the horns of the altar of burnt offering. And all the blood thereof shall he pour out at the base of the altar. And all the fat thereof shall he take away, as the fat of the lamb is taken away from the sacrifice of peace offerings. And the priest shall burn them on the altar, upon the offerings of Jehovah made by fire. And the priest shall make atonement for him as touching his sin, that he hath sinned, and he shall be forgiven. And if any one sin in that he heareth the voice of adjuration, he being a witness, whether he hath seen or known, if he do not utter it, then he shall bear his iniquity. Or if any one touch any unclean thing, whether it be the carcass of an unclean beast, or the carcass of unclean cattle, or the carcass of unclean creeping things, and it be hidden from him, and he be unclean, then he shall be guilty. Or if he touch the uncleanness of man, whatsoever his uncleanness be wherewith he is unclean, and it be hid from him, when he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty. Or if any one swear rashly with his lips to do evil, or to do good, whatsoever it be that a man shall utter rashly with an oath, and it be hid from him, when he knoweth of it, then he shall be guilty in one of these things. And it shall be, when he shall be guilty in one of these things, that he shall confess that wherein he hath sinned, and he shall bring his trespass offering unto Jehovah for his sin which he hath sinned, a female from the flock, a lamb or a goat, for a sin offering, and the priest shall make atonement for him as concerning his sin. And if his means suffice not for a lamb, then he shall bring his trespass offering for that wherein he hath sinned, 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, unto Jehovah, one for a sin offering, and the other for a burnt offering. And he shall bring them unto the priest, who shall offer that which is for the sin offering first, and wring off its head from its neck, but shall not divide it asunder. And he shall sprinkle of the blood of the sin offering upon the side of the altar, and the rest of the blood shall be drained out at the base of the altar as a sin offering. And he shall offer the second for a burnt offering, according to the ordinance. And the priest shall make atonement for him as concerning his sin which he hath sinned, and he shall be forgiven. But if his means suffice not for 2 turtle doves or 2 young pigeons, then he shall bring his oblation for that wherein he hath sinned, the 10th part of an ephah of fine flour for a sin offering. He shall put no oil upon it, neither shall he put any frankincense thereon, for it is a sin offering. And he shall bring it to the priest, and the priest shall take his handful of it as the memorial thereof, and burn it on the altar upon the offerings of Jehovah made by fire. It is a sin offering. And the priest shall make atonement for him as touching his sin that he hath sinned, in any of these things, and he shall be forgiven, and the remnant shall be the priest's as the meal offering. And Jehovah spake unto Moses, saying, If any one commit a trespass and sin unwittingly in the holy things of Jehovah, then he shall bring his trespass offering unto Jehovah, a ram without blemish out of the flock, according to thy estimation in silver by shekels, after the shekel of the sanctuary, for a trespass offering. And he shall make restitution for that which he hath done amiss in the holy thing, and shall add the 5th part thereto, and give it unto the priest. And the priest shall make atonement for him with the ram of the trespass offering, and he shall be forgiven. And if any one sin, and do any of the things which Jehovah hath commanded not to be done, though he knew it not, yet he is guilty, and shall bear his iniquity. And he shall bring a ram without blemish out of the flock, according to thy estimation, for a trespass offering unto the priest. And the priest shall make atonement for him concerning the thing wherein he erred unwittingly, and knew it not, and he shall be forgiven. It is a trespass offering. He is certainly guilty before Jehovah. And Jehovah spake unto Moses, saying, If any one sin, and commit a trespass against Jehovah, and deal falsely with his neighbor in a matter of deposit, or of bargain, or of robbery, or have oppressed his neighbor, or have found that which was lost, and deal falsely therein, and swear to a lie, in any of all these things that a man doeth, sinning therein, then it shall be, if he hath sinned and is guilty, that he shall restore that which he took by robbery, or the thing which he hath gotten by oppression, or the deposit which was committed to him, or the lost thing which he found, or anything about which he hath sworn falsely. He shall even restore it in full, and shall add the 5th part more thereto. Unto him to whom it appertaineth shall he give it, in the day of his being found guilty. And he shall bring his trespass offering unto Jehovah, a ram without blemish out of the flock, according to thy estimation, for a trespass offering unto the priest. And the priest shall make atonement for him before Jehovah, and he shall be forgiven concerning whatsoever he doeth, so as to be guilty thereby. And Jehovah spake unto Moses, saying, Command Aaron and his sons, saying, This is the law of the burnt offering. The burnt offering shall be on the hearth upon the altar all night unto the morning, and the fire of the altar shall be kept burning thereon. And the priest shall put on his linen garment, and his linen breeches shall he put upon his flesh, and he shall take up these ashes whereto the fire hath consumed the burnt offering on the altar, and he shall put them beside the altar. And he shall put off his garments, and put on other garments, and carry forth the ashes without the camp unto a clean place. And the fire upon the altar shall be kept burning thereon. It shall not go out. And the priest shall burn wood on it every morning, and he shall lay the burnt offering in order upon it, and shall burn thereon the fat of the peace offerings. Fire shall be kept burning upon the altar continually. It shall not go out. And this is the law of the meal offering. The sons of Aaron shall offer it before Jehovah before the altar. And he shall take up therefrom his handful of the fine flour of the meal offering, and of the oil thereof, and all the frankincense which is upon the meal offering, and shall burn it upon the altar for a sweet savour, as the memorial thereof, unto Jehovah. And that which is left thereof shall Aaron and his sons eat. It shall be eaten without leaven in a holy place, in the court of the tent of meeting they shall eat it. It shall not be baken with leaven. I have given it as their portion of my offerings made by fire. It is most holy, as the sin offering, and as the trespass offering. Every male among the children of Aaron shall eat of it, as his portion forever throughout your generations, from the offerings of Jehovah made by fire. Whosoever toucheth them shall be holy. And Jehovah spake unto Moses, saying, This is the oblation of Aaron and of his sons, which they shall offer unto Jehovah in the day when he is anointed. The 10th part of an ephah of fine flour for a meal offering perpetually, half of it in the morning, and half thereof in the evening. On a baking pan it shall be made with oil. When it is soaked, thou shalt bring it in. In baken pieces shalt thou offer the meal offering for a sweet savour unto Jehovah. And the anointed priest that shall be in his stead from among his sons shall offer it. By a statute forever it shall be wholly burnt unto Jehovah. And every meal offering of the priest shall be wholly burnt, it shall not be eaten. And Jehovah spake unto Moses, saying, Speak unto Aaron and to his sons, saying, This is the law of the sin offering. In the place where the burnt offering is killed, shall the sin offering be killed before Jehovah. It is most holy. The priest that offereth it for sin shall eat it. In a holy place shall it be eaten, in the court of the tent of meeting. Whatsoever shall touch the flesh thereof shall be holy. And when there is sprinkled of the blood thereof upon any garment, thou shalt wash that whereon it was sprinkled in a holy place. But the earthen vessel wherein it is boiled shall be broken. And if it be boiled in a brazen vessel, it shall be scoured and rinsed in water. Every male among the priests shall eat thereof. It is most holy. And no sin offering, whereof any of the blood is brought into the tent of meeting to make atonement in the holy place, shall be eaten. It shall be burnt with fire.